Hello, I'm Marie Williamson, CEO of Agriculture for Life. Today, as a part of our Homegrown series, where we feature local products, producers, and artisans, we're speaking with Trish Tetz of the Craft Beef Company to talk about homegrown beef.
Trish, well, thanks for joining us. As I mentioned, we are doing a homegrown series with Egg for Life where we get to talk to local producers. And one of the coolest things I've come across is the Craft Beef Company. And
thank you.
We've got such an opportunity, especially in this province in Alberta. I mean, we love beef and the eat local, shop local. And you've taken it a step further because now you're going to deliver it right to my door. And that, to me, is perfect. So, Trish, can you tell us a little bit about what is the Craft Beef Company?
Yeah, and thanks for having me, Larry. This is my first podcast, so I'm super pumped to be here.
Nice.
So anyway, we started the Craft Beef Company because my husband Greg and I were actually doing a little bit of grass-fed beef off of our farm, and we were kind of testing the waters with that and kind of learning how to finish it too. Like learning how to finish grass-fed beef is a different world, and so we were kind of trying to sort through all of that stuff that goes with it, how to do it, how do you get it to customers. We're located in Three Hills. Our customers are typically in Calgary, Edmonton, Red Deer, Fort McMurray, Jasper, Lethbridge, like they're all over the place. So how do you get rural Alberta product into the customer's hands effectively? And how do you do that consistently throughout the year? And so what we found is our farm was just too small. So we couldn't really go down the grass-fed and finished route and direct market it ourselves effectively. We couldn't do a good job of that because we were just too small. So we could have never afforded to ship it. We didn't have the volume required by FedEx, and we didn't have the product to go all year round. And how do you get grass-fed beef finished in the wintertime in Alberta? So we have to learn how to do that, which is totally possible, but you do have to change your farming techniques to do it. And so we had other producers that we already knew who were doing it really well. And we said, well, why don't we partner with them? Let's partner with Ben Campbell. Let's partner with Prairie Landing Cattle. Let's partner with High River Chicken and bring on a chicken producer. There's lots of different things that we can add to it and a lot of variety we can gain. And then we also gain the convenience of sending it directly to the customer's door. And then the one really unique thing, like there are other apps out there for people. There's things like Meatocracy and things like that. But if you want to order lamb, beef, and pork, for instance, you have to order it from 3 separate producers. It arrives in 3 separate boxes, and all those people have to be local to your specific delivery area. Where Craft Beef is set up, that all of our product from all of our producers is on hand in one location, which is actually built at our farm. And then we ship out from our farm Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, typically. And then it can basically go all over the province. So it's really nice for the consumer because they have a one-stop shop for access to all these local producers.
Well, and I think that's what's so exciting because we know consumers and we all love to support our local producers. But you've taken the complexity out of it, whereby I can come on, I can go onto your website, I can order my package, I can get my, like you say, my pork, my chicken, my beef, whatever it is that I want. It's all coming. I know what day it's coming. It's being shipped. It arrives, and I get to enjoy that amazing Alberta product. So you started out, you were working, getting the story, you and Greg were working, you're working hard, like a lot of producers. And I love the idea of collaboration because I think that is part of the secret ingredient of what's going to be so successful for you, is you have brought in other producers who probably had the same conversation that you and Greg had, was how can we do this? How can we do this more efficiently, more effectively to make sure our product reaches our consumers? So who are some of your partners? You probably don't need to, you probably got more than you want to list all of them. So we will send people to your website, but who are a few your initial partners that started?
Okay. So, so my husband and I are listed on our website under Tetz Cattle Company. So we are the founding partners of Craft Beef Company. And then we brought on, so Ben and Steph Campbell at Grazed Right Beef. They're just out of the Black Diamond area. High River Chicken is our chicken producer. So they're with Alberta Chicken under the Certified Raised Without Antibiotics program. And then they're also really unique because they do it right from the day those chicks are born all the way through to the harvest process out of one location. So that's the least stress on a bird you could possibly ask for. There's no transport involved. So we really liked that idea too. And so they're partners for us. And then 4K Farms is our Berkshire pork producer. So that's all pasture raised pork. They're located just south of us in Swalwell. And then the very first beef farm that came on with us was actually Prairie Landing Cattle. And so they are based out of Hardisty. And then just a couple of days ago, excuse me, we announced that we're partnering with Cyrus Bison Ranch.
Yes.
So that one is brand new. Yeah. So I just got the first bit of product in stock in our freezer just this week. So it's already selling like crazy. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then of course, Lambtastic Farms. So they are awesome lamb producers. They're actually both, it's Ray and Nancy Nolan. And so they are both actually Red Seal chefs by trades. And then they went back into farming. And so their product is actually raised, I feel, more from the chef's perspective of what that chef really wants in a high quality product to cook for their customers. So that's a super cool program that they're doing. And then one of our other founding partners, not founding partners, but like one of our partners that came in with us really early on was None Beef. So that's Lakeside Farmstead. And they actually also were just featured on Global because they started a cheese production out of their farm. And so they're very diversified. And then they also have like a Wagyu Holstein cross or like a snow beef. So it's kind of what it's coined as in Canada. And so they have been our Wagyu producer for the past year as well. And so the product that we've had a little bit of WR grazing. So they're out of Irricana. And then Southern Cross Livestock will come probably in 2021 and our cattle will be in 2021.
That's amazing. So tell me, snow beef, why do we call it snow beef?
So snow beef is actually terminology that comes out of Japan. Okay. And it's really because the meat is so white with fat marbling that it's been coined snow beef. So that's been a terminology that some of the other Canadian producers have kind of taken and kind of ran with, almost like a brand for their product now. But actually, it does originate back to the original production of Wagyu.
Okay, so it doesn't have anything to do with Canadian weather and snow on the ground.
It does not. It does not.
Perfect. So when I'm listening to you, I can see the passion and I can hear the passion. I'm excited for you and I'm excited for all of the groups that you're working with. We know, just from general sense that consumers are really connected to knowing the story of their food.
Yes.
And we've seen, COVID was, we were headed in that direction anyway for many years, but COVID really kind of amplified that shop direct. Have you seen?
Can you hear that? Yes.
That's life, right?
I smoked her a rib bone and it is flying around my kitchen. So I'm gonna take that away.
That's awesome. That is life, right? That's the nice thing about it. So, and I love it because that's called farming, right? You've got multiple things happening at once. So it's hard to do a Zoom call and say, okay, everybody stop. Yeah.
Well, I do have it like I talk with my headset in quite a bit and I'll be on my phone and like I can't just sit at my desk. So I'll pace from, this side of the house through to the kitchen and I'll just walk while I'm on the phone. And then as soon as I get into the kitchen and people hear Penny with that rib bone, they're like, what
What's
what is
happened?
that? Like some kind of like train in your house? Like what the heck is that noise?
No, it's a
So
puppy.
anyway, sorry.
So,
So
no, it's all good. So we're talking. So yeah, now we'll get back. So talking
yes.
about sustainability and traceability and the story of food. We've seen this movement, and it's a wonderful movement. It is wonderful that consumers want to know and support where their food comes from. COVID, of course, hit, and I think that really amplified things in a big way. Have you seen a surge in interest in consumers over the last year with COVID, in terms of course, wanting to support local, but where can I get trusted quality product? Have you seen a number of people reaching out to you during this time?
Oh, I would say without a doubt, the industry has totally shifted. Will it come back? Like, I think it's a little bit of a pendulum swing. Um, and I think it's probably going to come back a little bit, but there are pockets around the country that are way more, shop local than we are here in Alberta. You look at Toronto, you look at that surrounding area around Toronto. There's quite a lot of that in Vancouver. Really, people want to go to the farm's doorstep, and they can a lot easier based on just the geography in their provinces.
Mhm.
Their population is so much closer to where the farmers are. So I think in Alberta, people get it when they're going down Highway 2 from Edmonton to Calgary, and that's really, they're like, hey, some cows, and that's a lot of like the closest that many of them get. So I think we are seeing a really strong growth curve go towards that direct marketing approach from producers and to the consumer wanting to purchase like direct from the farm. So now some people are going to have great experiences with that, and other people are going to maybe not. Like they're going to be like, wow, that was a lot of money out of pocket for a half a beef or a whole beef at one time. Or they're going to say, I didn't understand cutting instructions, or I wanted grass-fed beef, but jeepers, this was lean and it was way too lean. And so they're not gonna, they might not do it again. Other people are gonna have fantastic experiences and be like, oh man, that was the best beef I've ever had. Like I am sold on this. I'm buying local forever. I'm going to the farm doorstep as much as I can. And so we're gonna really differ, I feel, on the experiences that people have. So if people are direct marketing, make sure you're doing a very good job on the quality of that product. And that's what's going to keep the customer returning again in the future. So there's pros and cons to buying that type of bulk quantity also, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So by the time you get to what's buried in the bottom of your deep freeze, is it good anymore? And did you have any waste out of that, any freezer burn out of that? So those types of things are dependent on size of family and probably just like that's what's going to impact the quality of that product too.
Absolutely. And you raised a good point. I mean, some people, there is a little bit of a taste difference depending on, how the beef is finished. And some people have an expectation of what their beef is to taste like, and maybe it tastes a little bit different. So, we encourage people to experiment, try different product, try from different producers.
Mm-hmm.
Get your community or your family together and buy bulk, and then that way you can you're insured to use and go through the product and enjoy the product. Get creative with your recipes. I mean, that's the fun part about food, and trying new recipes and learning new things. Now, Trish, you may or may not know the answer to this, but do you, from a demographic perspective, do you know, like, who is your customer?
It's something we kind of view our customer as anybody that's like over 18 years old.
Mhm.
That's kind of where it's been. Our biggest demographic, as it turns out, when I look through like all of our information on our website of who is actually looking at our products online, we are probably between that 24 and 44 and like 80% men.
Very
Like,
interesting.
and it's so interesting because when I talk to my girlfriends, they go, yeah, meets his department. Like, And so some of them are women shopping for their husbands. And like, I've had a couple people that actually like bought beef, put it in the freezer, and then like Christmas morning, pull it out, put it back in the shipping box, wrap it, and put it under the tree. And they're like, there you go.
I love it.
I think that's just amazing. And so, anyway, I think like it really surprised me. I thought women would be the dominant grocery shopper, whether that was going to be online or in store. I really thought women would be the dominant grocery shopper. And I would have to say, when it comes to meat products, it is highly men. I also see a difference with women being heavy chicken buyers and men being heavy like Wagyu buyers. So there's a big shift there. Women are going to that lean chicken and men are going to the high fat, like super highly marbled, super, and it's not a cheap product. Wagyu is a very costly animal to raise and process. And so that's not a cheap product. And it's just really interesting to see where people's preferences are going.
That's surprising that those sort of that profile of your customer would surprise me to understand that. It makes sense. I'm certainly going to tell my husband that most of the men buy the meat. That's your department.
Sorry, Kent.
And his birthday's coming up, so I like the gift idea. Yeah, that's right? Perfect. So that's that. I learned a lot of tricks there. So. And so far, I mean, you've got some amazing product, beautiful website, which we'll tell people about, but what's the most popular product at this point?
You know what? I looked at it last night. So it's so funny that you asked that. The Wagyu burger patties are by far like our number one product. So I would say the Wagyu burger patties, and then like the ground beef value pack, because you get 8 packs of ground beef for about $62 or $64 or something. And so those 2 items sell quite a lot.
Yes. Good old burgers.
Yeah. And in the summer, we sold a ton of Wagyu burger patties, and then, but very little roast, very little ground. It's all steaks, it's all briskets, it's all the tri-tips. It's things that people want to throw on the smoker. And, that stuff flies out of the door in the summer. And then roast, ground, quarter cows, those are the things that are flying out of the door in the winter.
Interesting. Yeah, just we're in the house. We're not out as much. I mean, we've had a beautiful winter so far that we could be doing some barbecuing, but I think it just goes with the seasons, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have a Ninja Foodie or an Instant Pot?
Yes.
Okay, so I cooked a roast in 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
I love an Instant Pot. Yes.
20 minutes. When in your life could you ever have cooked a roast? I remember that being something like my parents would put in the oven at 11 a.m. and you'd have it for supper at 6 o'clock that night. Yeah. I was like completely in shock. I was like, Greg, 15 minutes? And then 3 minutes on air crisp and this sucker is done. And we've had the best roast we've ever had.
That's the nice thing. And see, that's what people need to do. They need to experiment a little bit, right? So, place your order and then follow some new cooking practices, try some new recipes, and really enjoy food. So where do people go to learn more about you and the Craft Beef Company?
Yeah, so they can just go to craftbeefco.ca. It's super easy. If you just Google Craft Beef Alberta or Craft Beef, we should be pretty high on the list that pops up. But our website is craftbeefco.ca. We also have, from now, it's probably running for about the next 2 weeks, we have a Valentine's Day giveaway. So they can find that on our Instagram, which is just at Craft Beef Co. And so we're giving away a date night in. So a couple ribeye steaks, some chicken wings for an appetizer, a Cineplex gift card, some wine tumblers, some chocolates, some snacks, everything you need. Just pick up your wine that you like and, cook your spouse or significant other a beautiful night in.
Well, see, and that's a hint to all of the husbands because you've told me they're buying the product. So that's a perfect Valentine's. So hurry up and get entered. So, well, thank you so much, Trish, for taking the time to give us an overview. Like I say, I'm excited to watch, your organization launch and what you guys are doing and the collaboration and the promoting of local products. So I know that you guys are going to have big growth very quickly, would be my prediction. So
Here's hoping.
yeah,
Yeah.
supporting and reaching out. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us as part of our homegrown series. And we do wish you the best of luck. And I'll be placing my meat order for my husband very soon.
Thank you so much, Larry. I really appreciate you having us on. And every time we get a chance to tell our story, I think it helps people know us better. And then it always helps, our local farms that we're partnering with. And, the business it's our business, but we designed it to benefit the farmer. We definitely buy the farmer's product at a premium. So when you support the craft beef company, you really are supporting that farm and that farm family. And so I want people to know that it's really that they're supporting that farm.
That's fantastic. I love it. So as Albertans, as restaurants, as consumers, let's get on there and let's support our local producers. So thank you and good luck, Trish.
Thanks so much, Larry. I really appreciate it.